don't know. Do we intro? Do we go in or something? Do we have anything?
All right, I'll intro.
Okay.
It says, finally, the podcast has come back to Suplex City, bitch. All right, everybody. Welcome to the brand new edition of the Searching for Renoa and now Maryland Wolves 110 podcast entitled The Suplex Cities Podcast with your co-hosts Maryland Wolves 110 and Searching for Brennan.
Whoop.
Whoop whoop.
I was gonna call it the not so one player podcast, but I think that might have worked for maybe like an episode. I was like, I can't think of anything else. So I'm just gonna go with that for now. I was hoping we had another one come in. We had a Vexper come in, but I guess he's indisposed for a while. But he'll probably come in a little later if he does. I just told him like, hey, we're starting now. We'll just go in.
Yeah, just hopefully it gets removed from over there from his trip to Suplex City. So
his papers has not been finalized yet.
Yep, his papers not been finalized. Yeah, hope he doesn't join John Cena and Roman Reigns because they're already bitches anyways.
Rolling around at Suplex City at the speed of
rolling around Suplex City at the speed of Neville.
So I've never actually done I've been doing it by myself for like 30 episodes, and I'm surprised I managed like at least half of it by myself. And that was just a thing because he did the multi-tap, which is now like the super duper sexy ultra chocolatey coated fudge podcast now, or whatever he calls it. HD Turbo.
Yeah, the super turbo multi-tap podcast, wherever the fuck. Yeah, I'm surprised Creed hasn't come into the podcast where they're talking about his chocolate waifus, now that you mentioned that.
They joked he would be DLC maybe, so who knows.
Creed might be the DLC over there to that podcast.
Because I think Euron's Euron's in fucking Jersey now. I'm like, holy shit, is he coming after me?
Yeah, he might be over there to bitch you for like he does fucking PM or in there because I'm surprised that PM has not snapped Garl's neck after so many times because it's like that Garl was supposed to buy PM a fucking new computer and said he fucking buys it on Common Rider shit.
Or a PS4. Or no, he did get that, I think.
Yeah, PM did get his PS4. But
Euron did yet.
Oh yeah, by the way, it's like I'm surprised over there that PMS has shit luck over in Canada. It's like his fucking video games are gonna cost like 70 or 60 fucking bucks over compared for what we have in the US.
Yeah, Canada. Then I looked at like because I would look at like player guides before like the internet was like a huge thing and you could just look it up on GameFAQs anyway. I used to buy back in the day. I used to just buy like game guides for games I didn't own. I just like, oh, Shenmue. Okay, let me take a look at that, see what it's about. I would get the gleam at the story from that. Now it's all out there on the internet, TV tropes, Wikipedia, all that stuff. YouTube,
right.
What have you. But yeah, I would look on the back, and I think it was like, what is it, $14.99 US? I think a little bit more in, it was Mexico or Canada. Do I have a strategy guide around or something? No, I don't have one on me right now.
Yeah, speaking of which,
it was like $7 more then. I don't even know what it is now with the inflation nowadays.
Yes. Yeah, speaking of which, bad news for Palm that that the PS4 just got a price drop over here in North America. Is now $350.
Yeah, that's still a lot for me.
Yeah, still a lot for me too.
You drop it another 100, I'll probably pick it up.
Yeah, probably lady or probably Lynchman would probably donate $100 knowing how rich they are.
But anyway, we had a lot to cover, not just Raw either, but I don't know what else we would go for. Did we because kind of doing this off the cuff, we didn't even mention what we're like outside of like just my usual stuff that I normally do offhand. Would I continue with the snacking and stuff like that?
Yep. Yeah, so we're just going to be improv, just like the guys on Who's Lines Anyway did. Just do it off the cuff, so.
Until we kind of discover what it is we're going to focus on. It's still going to be like mostly the wrestling stuff, and I know I brought in a ringer with Maryland because he's covering, what was he? Yeah, Lucha Underground, which I've seen like a 37-minute video of for like the first season. Holy shit.
Yep. Yeah, I'm also going to be covering Ring of Honor and New Japan and PWG for all the indie marks out there as well. Yeah, because it's like Renee is going to just be doing Raw and SmackDown, and it's going to be only doing for WWE. She's going to do NXT.
Because usually 5 hours of wrestling is usually my limit, and now I'm watching NXT, which is like that was like another. This one was like another 2, so 7. With pay-per-views, that's gonna. Like I watch anime, like I watch anime less than what you call it now, and I'm just watching the Toonami stuff now.
Yep. And there, which speaking of which, that Parasite's going to be coming soon over there to Toonami.
Yeah, I've seen the first episode of it. It looks really good. I like what I see so far.
Yep. All right, we're here for what we have over here for piece of gaming news. Of course, that for Xbox, Phil Spencer says upon the PS4 for doing a little bit of this company over there. Ron Justice saying that PS4 has a huge lead over the Xbox in the console wars.
Not surprising.
Yeah, which makes me wonder the fact about, gee, Xbox, have you learned your fucking lesson from E3 2013, where you did your whole entire viewership of the Xbox? It's Ron Justice here, because, I mean, let's face the facts over in here. For when that E3 2013 shit went down, that we knew that Xbox was going to be dead.
They took a huge blow there.
Yep, that they definitely took a huge blow. Also, forgot for a bit of news that for animation news, for those people who are into cartoons, that Star Wars Rebels is got its second season trailer coming from New York City Comic Con. Got for a lot of stuff happening over for speaking of Star Wars news, that the Star Wars Battlefront beta just came out. Which I know that KZ was playing that for a couple days ago on stream.
Looked really good. I like the wipes for that. It's like the movie. I'm like, oh, that's good. That's really good.
Yeah,
I didn't follow much Star Wars, but I saw like the wipe as you're cutting from like one screen to the other. It does like that little side wipe thing that they're known for. I'm like, oh, that's good.
Yeah. And also for the other bit of video game news, apparently that still the video game voice acting crew is still apparently possibly maybe going on strike because they're not getting the residuals that they need over there from the studios, which fucking sucks.
They're going on strike now.
Yep. Because apparently is that for fun fact, did you know that the for voice acting people over there that they make less than for I think it was Saturday made less, or for a little bit more than for like video game programmers make, which honestly just it fucking blows my mind of how like video game programmers just make so fucking little. Which that you need to give the video game voice actors their due. It's like, how can we have more video games voiced by Bryce Papenbrook? Or like voiced by fucking Greg Ayers, or like fucking voiced by Spike Spencer. Of course, I'm honestly fucking joking, people.
Yeah, how many games have I played right now where Crispin Freeman's been opposing me? All the LPs, he's like, you wouldn't be there if it wasn't for the performance matters.
And also, too, with Rena-chan.
Yeah, she's popped up recently. I know she's in the new Disgaea.
Right. Of course, even though that happened last month, course, for the time it's happened, that Persona 4 Dancing All Night is going to get Hatsune Miku DLC.
It's coming out in October.
Yeah, coming out there for October, which that's going to make all the otakus just scream. And let's see for what else.
I wasn't expecting that like today. I just found that that's interesting. They're not done with Ultra Street Fighter 4. Free of charge for beta participants for Street Fighter 5 are going to get, for the PlayStation 4, horror-themed costumes for Street Fighter 4, or Ultra Street Fighter 4, the October 28th. Okay, Blanca with the overcoat looks really good. Is that Dhalsim with like a skull mask and all that blue shit? Yo. Checking that out later. I guess that's not even all of them. But speaking of Street Fighter 5, we got the trailer that was leaked, we got a little more information. Apparently, her last name is Matsuda, which means she is a relation to Sean from Street Fighter 3.
Oh.
In what way? We're not sure yet. Maybe she's like older sister, I guess, or something.
Yeah. Also, speaking of which, that I have news over here that where we got news confirmation that we have the Digimon confirmed for the new Digimon game, Digimon Story Cyber Sleuths. Oh yeah, for also that we also got the specs for Fallout 4 for when that comes out on PC. That apparently that you need between 28 and 35 gigabytes of storage space on there from the Xbox and the PS4 to install there from consoles, which that obviously is of course a fucking lot since considering the size of the PS4 and the Xbox Ones nowadays. Of course, for also too talking about game releases that soon is going to be coming up. Me and Renee is one of our favorite games. WWE 2K16 coming up soon on PS4 and Xbox One.
I even bought last one I bought was WWE 13, which I thought was pretty good. I heard 14 kind of changed things, and 15 for like PS3 was like just like a nothing at all, like just a complete waste. Even for next gen, it was still kind of like lacking from what I understand. So I don't know what 2K16 is gonna bring.
Yeah, of course, over there, if you pre-order it, that you get the Terminator as the DLC. And you get Arnold Schwarzenegger. And then
get to reenact your one of our favorite moments from, what was it, like 99, 2000 SmackDown, where Arnold's on commentary and Triple H just somehow has a problem with him. He goes to take a swing and Arnold dodges and just swats him away.
Right. And then he has a beer with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Fast forward 10, 15 years later, he's calling him out at WrestleMania. It's time to play the game.
Yep.
It is the 90s, and it is time for clacks.
Yeah. Which is surprising. It's like you never thought that like Triple H could possibly like for if it intimidated somebody better, because which blows my mind talking about. For if Triple H is like his whole main shtick with his voice and everything comes from Lemmy from Motorhead, it's like you should have adopted it from Arnold Schwarzenegger, because like you're much better at doing that, Triple H, than adopting from Lemmy from Motorhead.
You tried to get that handlebar mustache and it looked kind of good, but not as. It just looked a little too clean.
Yep.
He pulled it off somewhat though. I don't think he pulled off what he wore back then, or was like a beret and a fanny pack at some during the McMahon Helmsley era.
Yeah, and also big point of gaming news that Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 came out and apparently it fucking blew. Yep, for when did your Tony Hawk Pro Skater game is done by the same guys who did Tony Hawk Pro Skater Ride, or there was that fucking remote control skateboard. There, yep, you knew your game was gonna fucking suck.
I heard that's actually coming out over. I'm looking at my because I have like PlayStation 3 and 3DS I can cover, but it's supposed to be coming out the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 according to GameFAQs the 10th of November. So I guess that's like last gen. They get it a little later or something like that. Maybe I don't know if they'll address any patches or fix it for that release date. Maybe.
Maybe. Also, for those people who follow over for the movies, that apparently that Daniel Craig has said that this after Spectre, this would be his last Bond film. In which replying to that, there for news from GameSpot says, "I don't give a fuck who plays Bond next." So maybe we'll finally get Idris Elba as Bond. So you never know. So. And which Spectre's got me pretty fucking hyped.
Good Ireland. Oh yeah, that's coming out because that got pushed back. I went in last Tuesday to pick up. Well, I got the Transformers, which is Transformers for PlayStation 3. That came out. Devastation. Transformers Platinum, can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
Was looking for. Now this is funny because last time I was looking for Joestar's Victory Versus Plus, and I came out with the JoJo All Star Battle. This time I was looking for the Denkeki Bunko and walked out with Joestar. And I was mainly going in there for that Arland Atelier trilogy because it looked like another RPG, another 3-in-1 like the Disgaea we got a couple weeks back. I got pushed back to the 13th, which is this Tuesday. So I already had that reserved, and I'll get that. We're getting another Guitar Hero in the following week. Adventure Time Finnejuk Investigations. Just Dance, that's another new one. Tales of Hysteria is next Tuesday, apparently.
Yep. Speaking of Just Dance, do you wish there was like we have more fucking arcades so there could be like a Persona 4 Dancing All Night DDR?
I know Japan's got the pachinko machine now.
Yep.
Nanako cosplaying as all the characters. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful.
Yep. Speaking of which, it's like, is Nanako over there in that Junet song? She's just like, oh my god. It's like Nanako, just please stop getting all the Persona fans diabetes. Diabetes. Also, apparently, that at a WWE 2K16 event, that apparently Dean Ambrose hates the word selfie. The reason that apparently Dean Ambrose just doesn't want to get over there upon a sexy side like Tyler Breeze.
Oh. Who on NXT had said was out currently Dolph Ziggler just because he's the goofy selfie stick with like all the fur on it. I was wondering, what is he holding? And I had to look it up. I'm like, oh, it's a stick for selfies? Yeah. Like, I guess you hold it up and you take... I'm like, what the fuck? Another classic case of old man Renoa doesn't understand.
Also been news here that... Yeah, also too bit of gaming news that apparently the director of Mad Max Fury Road, aka one of the best movies of the year, apparently that he has passed on a live-action Akira movie, which just still boggles my mind. It's like, for when we're ever going to get a damn thing of the live-action Akira?
We're still pushing for that? I thought we dodged that bullet a while ago with Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
Although Akira might work a little bit better than Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, it might work better than fucking Cowboy Bebop. Yeah, considering the fact about that you want fucking Keanu Reeves to play Spike Spiegel. Which apparently that Steve Bloom has said over there in interviews that he said that he's endorsed Keanu Reeves playing Spike Spiegel.
No idea what that's about.
Yep. Oh, also too, for Shakabe here, that apparently that the Legend of Zelda Symphony will be performing on the Late Show where there was Stephen Colbert next week.
Nice. I know their games are coming out this month, the new Triforce Heroes.
Right. Here, apparently
following week's new 3DS XL with the Hyrule Edition. What's that look like?
And also, too, that we got a brand new trailer for the brand new Far Cry game coming out in 2016 for Far Cry Primal. Oh, yeah, and Skullgirls team launches for a crowdfunding campaign for a playable prototype for their new RPG that they're making. And, of course, also, too...
Well, that looks good.
At least over there, that, like... for if no Power Guys cover this, for the release for Shin Megami Tensei 4, we're coming out soon up on DS. Yeah. And back to Far Cry, that apparently that now the new Far Cry just happen to go over there to the Ice Age, which begs the question: are we ever gonna fucking ride over there on woolly mammoths for once?
Do we get dinosaurs?
Yeah, maybe we'll probably get over there for dinosaurs. And I wonder if that woolly went that fucking
Far Cry 5 Cadillacs versus dinosaurs. Just bring that back.
Yeah, it's like I wonder if that woolly mammoth over there just happened to be voiced by Ray Romano.
That's all I have for gaming news myself. I know.
Yeah, that's what
I know
Yokai got for gaming news.
I know 3DS got a couple of things. No Yokai Watch is coming out. That theme looks pretty good.
Yep. Anime news that that Viz just got the license for Hunter x Hunter, the anime, and he got the license over there for Kuroko no Basuke and the Haikyuu manga.
Well, there you go.
Yep. Or there's like, I just wonder if like for when Biz starts dubbing Hunter x Hunter, it's like they all of a sudden like get Bryce Papenbrook over there to voice all the characters, and then it's like if you don't get Bryce Papenbrook, just fucking put Greg Ayres on all the characters for Hunter x Hunter. Anywho, now that covers that. Now let's get started over there for the wrestling.
A lot to cover, but of course I had to like branch mine down, maybe a little bit, dress it down kind of, because I wasn't sure how to approach this with all the other news.
Right. Here, so let's start over there with Renee covering Raw and SmackDown.
I know Raw opens with Lesnar and Heyman is saying how Heyman's like, Hell in a Cell's Taker's match, your match, my ass.
Your ass, my ass. Which, considering which, that Brock Lesnar beat Undertaker 13 years ago in a Hell in a Cell, which WWE doesn't want you over there to remember because WWE trying to too much of their memory wipes nowadays.
That's how he got over in the first place. Because Taker tried to take the title away from him on 2 occasions, and even in the Hell in a Cell, he couldn't do it.
Yep, and yeah, that's also to the match where Brock just completely destroyed the hand of the Undertaker.
And then after the match, they shake hands. I think the following SmackDown, they were like, you know what, you took it to me like no one else had. You earned my respect. Not quite that Taker we're seeing now. Apparently, he's resorted to the low blow and everything. So I don't know if he's gonna go all out heel for the third one.
Yeah, I just wonder if Undertaker's now going to become the new dirtiest player in the game, like Ric Flair. Yeah, and also too on Raw that apparently that Big Show got over there taken to F5 City.
Yeah, for some reason, even though he got the shit beat out of him for not really, but that was probably like the shortest match of both of their careers. That was that was like the 2-hour thing for the Garden last Saturday, and there was 7 minutes for those guys.
Yeah,
because he hit him with about to go for, I think he choke slammed him a couple, went for the punch, and then Lesnar just went into final, it's like, okay, you've activated my limit break. F5's the fuck out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's like Brock Lesnar just went Super Saiyan all over the fucking
He comes into every fight with that full limit break, and he just starts multicasting suplexes.
Yeah. And there they just went full combo breaker. Oh, jeez. Continue.
Yeah, but Show gets in his face like he wants to shake hands. Brock's like, please. And he just walks and he just brushes him aside like the nothing he is now. And Show's like, well, I hope you lose to The Undertaker. Again. You're awfully cocky for a guy who got your face beat into what was probably like I said, your and Brock's shortest match on Saturday.
Right.
So I do sometimes on Raw, I leave to make a float, and I come back to the Wyatts versus Ambrose, Reigns, and Orton. So, like I said on the 30th episode, last week's main event where the two just beat the hell out of each other, settled nothing. Well, I guess they had to do the Hell in a Cell thing, so I was a little ahead of myself. So maybe that's the finale. We'll see. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see where they go from there.
Yeah, but apparently that'll be the 6-man tag that never, ever ends like One Piece. Because apparently they're going to probably maybe doing the 6-man tags all over the fucking place. Because you know how Vince likes to do, or there's like...
Well, they kind of wrote themselves into a corner with the... It sounded like a good idea, and a lot of people want the Shield back, but...
Right.
And there was that segment, that's what I wanted Vexper here for as well. He posted I forget who it was, but there was a segment, somebody posted a review of how I would book for WrestleMania and stuff like that.
Oh.
Kind of turning Seth Rollins' face into, and actually making Triple H into the actual premier heel again.
You know what? Apparently, side note here, that how I would book WrestleMania is that have Seth Rollins kicked out of the Authority realized that Seth Rollins is no worth a damn anymore, and they've now inducted a new authority member, Brock Lesnar. Finally set up the match that everybody and their mother wants for WrestleMania 32, Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
Double turn.
Yeah.
It's been done before, to beautiful effect with Del Rio and Ziggler.
And also, too, with Austin and Bret the Hitman Hart at WrestleMania 13.
I just think Brock Lesnar's like too white hot a commodity to turn heel, but you know you could still play it as that, where it's still the same guy.
Yeah,
like,
well,
he still is just gonna like suplex the shit out of you, but people are hyped when he does it because he's that over.
Well, I mean, it's like in the fans' eyes, he's mostly a tweener anyway. So it's just like you can have the crowd of WrestleMania 32 just cheer for who fucking ever, because pretty much, even though the WWE treats Brock Lesnar as a heel, he's pretty much still as a babyface anyways.
He's their hottest commodity.
Yep, he's their hottest commodity, and if you don't treat Brock Lesnar right, he'll send you to Suplex City, bitch.
But anyway, the 6-man that we're having now with the Wyatts, Ambrose, Reigns, and Orton, so apparently he's in there, I guess, as well. Even though Dylan would, like, last SmackDown was like, we don't need his help. Like, we don't want outsiders' help or something like that, which actually both sides kind of makes sense. It's good to have that, but speaking of Dylan, he must really love that spot of trying to sleeper hold Braun Strowman, because he keeps fucking doing it. And it keeps getting thrown off. I'm like, do something else. Hit him with a chair. Go for a chop block. Like, take his legs out from under him is what I would. Like, get him on a vertical pick so he can't pick you up anymore. Orton's over. Orton's like crazy over with the Boston crowd too for whatever reason. I never really understood.
Yeah, well, speaking of which, is that for Randy Orton, for when he's in the Viper phase, is much better as babyface, because let's face the fact, for when they started initially turning Orton babyface over there from 2004, it fucking sucked. Because, I mean, it's like his whole shit was coming out there after a birthday cakes or there and just doing the Orton pose for his initial babyface run in 04. But then, for when that, it's like, I always say this about Randy Orton, that Randy Orton is better heel as a legend killer. He is a better face for when he is the Viper. Because let's face the fact that nobody gave a shit about the whole legacy, whole authority heel Randy Orton.
Like, people complain about Seth Rollins now, you forget we had it much worse.
Yep, that we had it much, much worse.
Yeah, he's over with the Boston crowd. They love Orton. He does pay dividends and allows Reigns to pick up the win for the team and says he's going to end it at the pay-per-view. Fingers crossed. Sheamus versus Neville up next with Bad News Barra on commentary. Sheamus tells
Bad News Barrett.
He's not in the Cape and Crown anymore. He wasn't on SmackDown either with that, so I'm like, okay, he's still named King Barrett, but I guess he dropped the... He's back in a shirt and doing his thing. I'm like, okay. Baby steps.
Yep, baby steps. There apparently then at the end that Barrett cost Neville during the match, and Neville just got a full face of the bro kick, and Sheamus beats Neville.
Yeah, that was like about as long as it took us to go through that. It's probably more or less the length of the match after Sheamus got done saying, you should have used me as your mascot for the Celtics instead of some leprechaun. Speaking of which, Neville, what is it about you? No matter how hard you fight, you'll always be a loser. And Neville attacks him. Barrett immediately wants words with him. Like, he immediately gets off commentary and distracts him. And so, boom. So much for that.
And then next we have the Kane and Seth Rollins segment. For over there, for Rollins calls Kane Tom Brady, since the fact that they both have to play the balls and try to achieve they want. Which apparently that Rollins, you probably may realize that you may accidentally call it Kane, having over there has no nutsack.
And inadvertently angering the boss, Stephanie, who's a big Patriots fan, who's pretty much just had enough of all this shit, and, you know, You will indeed team with Seth to take on the Dudleys, even though he's kind of still crutched out.
Yeah,
he's also
the fact about.
Yeah. What's up?
Sorry about here. Considering the fact that WWE is a company based over there in Connecticut, so that they had to, pimp out the Patriots, since the WWE is a mainly company out from New England. So.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, and
he's got the match for the pay-per-view too, Kane. But if
right.
Demon Kane loses, Corporate Kane, no longer director of operations.
Right. The whole deal with the whole split personality Kane, which makes you think of like American Psycho with Patrick Bateman.
Oh my god.
Yep.
They do that at one point. They teased Seven for a little bit with like the statue. Like, what's in the box, Kane? What's in the box? Tell me what's in the fucking box.
And then all of a sudden, it's like you get like fucking like a Seth Rollins head for like. You remember that shit there for when they did that with a fucking Diesel and Undertaker, where Diesel opened up the casket and they just had like a fucking mannequin of Diesel inside the casket.
I was thinking Warrior Hogan in WCW. the Hogan head is like, what is it?
Oh, please don't remind me of that.
Hogan is shitting himself with this this fucking plastic mannequin Hogan.
Oh, jeez.
It's the funniest fucking thing.
Please don't remind me of that horribleness that happened at WCW, please. Well, anywho, that next up we have Natty versus Paige. We're still continuing on the horrible trend of Divas getting wasted upon the main roster, and Natty defeats Paige with the sharpshooter, moving on.
Yeah, it's Saturday, Paige, she does like her best Randy Orton heel impression. She came off like, now she's acting like, now that she's heel, she's like, now it's like the worst kind of heel they could have done for her. She's coming off like this spoiled, entitled brat throwing a tantrum after PCB also somehow still a thing. What?
That's like, what?
At least for Monday. They lose to the Bellas. Paige loses again in singles competition to Natalya via tap out. I'm like, wow, that's put Natalya over a little bit more. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, which apparently won't amount to shit because Vince and Kevin Dunn don't give a fuck about the Divas. And which next up we have Kevin Owens defeating Sinmacha, because we refuse to call him by Sin Cara. We ever call Sinmacha. At which that Kevin Owens defeated Sin Cara in a title match with the pop-up powerbomb.
Ryback tried to do a vignette earlier. He's like, I'm a lion and Owens is the prey. It's time. No, I was like, it's Vader time. No, it's feeding time. I'm like, oh, okay. You bitch. Better not start shit with Vader.
Yeah, because Kevin Owens will lose his fucking jaw and his fucking whole body for therapy. Had to face Vader back in his prime. So.
Yeah, Owens apparently has issue with the Lucha Dragons, so he boots the shit out of the less over one, Sin Cara. Because Kalisto, like, holy shit. People get hyped for him, and he's been, like, pretty much dominating the, in his own right, the Ascension, although that's not super hard to do, but still kind of solo doing it. That guy lets, like, half their size of those guys.
Yep. And the next segment is, of course, they had to do the corporate ass-kissing, but it's not necessarily corporate ass-kissing. Of course, they had Brennan and Cena coming out there to do the whole, pimping out for the Susan G. Komen breast cancer thing.
I actually skipped that in my notes, but okay. I didn't even cover that. I'm like, oh, fuck this segment. I'm not even covering it.
Well, I mean, it's like that he had to do the whole corporate kiss-assing things, so... Anywho, moving on. Next match we have Candace.
That's bad, though, because it's not like... Somebody brought it up really well, like... Let's talk about actually curing the thing, not just bring awareness. That's what social media is for. It's cancer. We're aware it exists, It's breast cancer. Like, we know it's a thing. You use social media to raise awareness. You put the money to get a cure for that shit. Apparently, I saw that on the news, like, elephants don't get cancer, or rarely get cancer, so they're looking into that, like, people are for that. I don't know if that might be a thing.
Well, anywho, And next up, we have Kane and Seth Rollins taking on the Dudley Boys, and the Dudley Boys won by DQ.
I remember before that, New Day trying to unsour busy supermom Steph. She's like, you even blow that trombone or saxophone. I keep calling it a saxophone, even though that's not what that is. Saxophone. She's like, you even blow that anywhere near. I hear one note. I'm gonna send you a place that makes Suplex City look like Disneyland, and I'm like, no, she'll do it. So yeah, you got the Dudleys at Hell in the Cell. And at this point, I was like,
yeah,
I'm thinking it should take place in Hell in the Cell, and I got like on a weird thing where I was like maybe Hell in the Cell should at least be like kind of like lockdown for TNA, and Taekwon pointed out that it might ruin that type of match, like how they arguably did to the hardcore title when it was 24/7. Made for some fun segments. Ultimately, looking at it long-term wise, like overall, not so much. I'm like, well, yeah, you got a point. Not every match is a over-the-top rope battle royal in the Royal Rumble, but I just know like the main event, like the title match, I don't think is gonna be Hell in the Cell. I'm like, Kane and Rollins, not a cell? How do you do that? I was like, all right, Brock and Taker is. I'm like, all right. I guess they didn't want to do like 2 in a row or something like that, because you probably have to do like title match and then Brock Taker is your main event. It's gotta be. Brock Taker 3, Cell, go.
Well, anywho, that at the end of the match, that the Dudleys get payback on Kane for Kane chokeslammed them on SmackDown the previous week, and then Rollins tries to get us out of the table, and then Rollins tries to do something on the top rope, and then Kane sits up, Kane grabs Rollins by the neck, and then chokeslams Rollins over there to the table. Hell.
Kane on one leg. And in a suit still. He's still in the suit pants and he's wrestling. And he still moves faster than the Big Show at this point.
Yep.
Like that dude's got some like cardio going on. Like, was he hanging out with Seth doing CrossFit shit with him at some point? Like maybe Seth taught him a little bit. At some point, like, I know Seth like handcuffs him to the ring post. So he's like, "You're not going anywhere. You're not going back there again," and like doing that shit. Because they did that again. Because it was a repeat of last SmackDown where he like. You know, he gets called off and leaves, and then he comes back as in the mask and everything else. He gets knocked. Seth gets knocked in the Kane, who falls off the apron, somehow just easily breaking the cuffs. I'm like, if I was Rollins, I'd ask for my money back, because those are like the weakest cuffs ever. What did Table Japan built those?
Yep. Anywho, in our next match, that we had Team Bad defeating Team Bella over there. Submission. There was Sasha Banks getting the win.
They had some words at the beginning of this one. I didn't care for anything Team Bella to say, but she's like, yeah, Sasha Banks is overrated. I'm like, yeah, the woman that made you tap out twice while you were Divas champion clean is overrated. I know people call your boyfriend that a lot. Not sure it means what you think it means. But yeah, Sasha gets Alicia Fox to tap out, still undefeated on Raw. But that's submission.
Which apparently that John Cena is trying to cop block the whole Nikki Bella losing the whole Divas Championship thing, because the fact about it is like that, like, apparently that John Cena doesn't want anybody over there, you know, to get the dick sucking. So anywho, next up we got this. Oh my god, this horror segment with Summer Rae and Rusev over there with a whole Summer Rae trying to propose to Rusev, and then it's like Rusev's like, no, I will propose to you for when we both heckle. Once I win the Intercontinental Championship, it's like you can finally have me as your husband.
The marriage to Ray Ray is nay-day till he gets gold around his way. This segment may improve a bit now that Rusev's going for titles, but a lot of people still want this whole mess to go away. It took it from Ziggler. Like, to focus off him. I gotta say, though, Sasha Banks, like, was hometown, and the hometown won. I'm like, huh. They don't do that, do they?
Yep. And finally, over there, in our main event, we have John Cena taking on Big E in the United States Open Challenge.
It was supposed to be Dolph Ziggler, but, oh, what's this? The New Day took him out? The New Day are emerging as like the premier heel faction. Well, it's not going to be Authority anymore these days. There's too much infighting with them. So like, the New Day is like your big time. Even though they're jokesters, but they're still kind of heels, like kind of Edge and Christian kind of. It was reminded of in a sense like that, like and they didn't even need a concerto to do it.
Right.
Because wow. Because I think it gets thrown out due to disqualification because it looks like Cena's about to win, and then just they run the numbers game. They just run down and boot on him, right. And then Ziggler out of the locker room comes out. They 3-on-1 him, the Dudleys, and they 3-on-2 them. So they're all down, and New Day is just like celebrating. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. I haven't seen that in a while.
Continue off of which, as with the whole Dolph Ziggler,
it opens with them on SmackDown.
Yep.
Like, Cena and Ziggler and the Dudleys combined could stand up to the power of positivity. The New Day stood tall and dropped them all. Not the Shield, the Wyatts, the Core, the Nexus, Los Boricuas, Dungeon of Doom, and W.O. They call the Philadelphia Eagles booty, which, me watching the news, I can't say I can argue with them at this point. Like, they did say they lost to the Redskins. I don't know that much about football, but they have been like, I know they've been on like a bad streak for a while.
Yeah, but apparently over there, because in Philly, they want Chip Kelly's head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who that here for after the Dolph and Big E match that we have some right backstage over there, or looking through their white magazine, still going for there on the whole Wednesday, and then which apparently over there says that Rusev versus Ryback later in the show. Moving on.
Yeah, I think that earlier Ziggler interrupted and actually wanted a match against the guy who Ziggler, he stole my opportunity and who arguably helped him, taught him how, because they used to be a thing. Ziggler brings up the. He's like, Woods is like, don't worry, it'll be a fair fight. And Ziggler's like, yeah, I know it will be, because I'll bring out the Dudleys to back me up.
Right.
Booker T is salty. I guess I was right about him last podcast. He's going to be the new heel commentary. He's liking the New Day and saying the Dudleys got no business being out here, even though they're just backing him up by all rights, and they still managed to do it. Like, Kofi taking out the leg of, like, Bubba goes to, like, kick him or something like that, and Kofi dodges. He gets the steel steps instead, and Kofi just, like, chops him. He, like, kicks him in the back of the leg, and he just drops him.
Right.
It's still a little weird for me seeing heel Kofi, but I'm still happy for it, because they've emerged at this premier heel faction. I want to see more of this.
Right.
Of them finding numbers game and finding ways to, like, go over.
Mm-hmm.
They're still popular as hell, like all the shenanigans and the trombone.
Yeah, Izzy was just the best thing about the main product on there, because Xavier was just the best.
I'm so glad they got the titles back.
Yep.
I like the PTP, but that was it. You're not gonna do much outside of that with them. And I was like, yeah, the New Day needs to get those back or something, or somebody needs to take that off them.
Right.
Bellas versus Charlotte. Becky and a partner of their choosing. Oh, I wonder who it could be. It couldn't possibly be the person that had problems with Paige before. Oh, it's Natalya? Was that supposed to be a surprise? Because it wasn't. And this is still taped on Tuesday, so they didn't have to actually follow Sasha Bailey for the NXT Women's title, which was as amazing as it sounds. 30 minutes. I can't even remember the last time women's match main evented. I think it was where Lita beat Trish for the women's title on Raw was like a main event.
And also too with Stephanie and Lita for Raw in summer 2000.
Oh yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yep.
That's right. Yeah, that's when Stephanie won it. Shit. Of course, that was like a shit ton of interference with that one, but man, Booker really pushing this whole millennial thing on commentary when it comes to heels, like New Day, like Paige. He's trying to explain why Paige, the anti-diva, is acting more and more like any entitled heel diva we've had. I sympathized when Naomi did that, because, she had, like, a legit problem with that. Like, I've been here for a while, and it's just, and I'm not waiting for my opportunity anymore. I'm going to go out there and take it. I'm like, all right, you do that. Yeah. You got a point there. Paige is a tougher sell, which I guess is important for a heel to have. Like, okay, she's not going to get as over. Like, we're going to hate her more for it, but...
Right.
I don't know, it's just weird. Oh, by the way, they're not Team PCB, they're Team NBC now. I'm like, wow. I call them CBN. I'm like, oh, okay. I was trying to avoid that, but I guess you're just going to go through it. I'm like, okay, well, NBC does kind of own the network, the USA network. And I know they did the Saturday main event on NBC, so I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, okay. You're not rubbing anybody the wrong way with that one, at least this time. I thought it was going to be another submission sorority thing, but I'm like, oh, wait, they have that. They're like, oh, they're probably okay with it. I'm like, all right. I hope before they come out, their new theme is just the boom, boom, boom.
Oh, jeez.
Really sell it over or just put the final nail in that coffin and just be like, we're going to go our separate ways now. I'm like, all right. No more tombs. We're just Tomb Charlotte or whatever.
Yeah, Team Charlotte. Woo!
Paige says and Paige, like, on commentary back there, it's just like, well, backstage, I think she was getting interviewed, and she's like, she's muscling in on my girls. Like, they're my friends. It's like, oh my god.
Right.
Like, she's reaching Orton territory, and I'm not a fan.
Yep.
Especially because he's coming out, like, pretty much, like, even Nikki, like, you're making Nikki less insufferable now at some point. I'm like, this is not a good way to go. Rusev versus the big guy in his quest to get some gold around his waist, while the current Intercontinental Champion Kevin Owens on commentary.
Yep.
Oh, that's what I was, because he calls like Rich Brennan. He's like, you kind of look like. Does anyone ever told you look like Milhouse from The Simpsons? And that's what I was gonna name this episode. That's what was my name. Like, this podcast is coming up Milhouse or something like that. I might still do that. I think that's too good. Oh, thank you, Owens. But yeah, Ryback with a rematch looking to regain what he lost. Rusev wants that same opportunity. Summer Rae did help put this match together, so because she wants the gold around her sooner than later. Like, I'm like, okay, that's something good coming from this. Like, she's actually helping to make the match. I'm like, okay. At least these two guys going at it, I can't complain. The ref sees Summer push Ryback's foot off the ropes after a big super kick after escaping a shell shock attempted. So Rusev's like a little upstandingly upset, like she got caught. He didn't say like what you're doing. He didn't get distracted by that. But he went for the accolade, like he's about to do the stomp to the back, and Ryback just blocks it and sets up his finishers the win. So I'm like, okay, he's got the title match, he's got to win. But still, that was an alright match. Bray Wyatt doing his best Rorschach impression says, at Hell in the Cell, will I be locked in here with you? Or will you be locked here with me? The world will shout, save us, and I'll whisper, run! Dump! Tonight you face my judgment and the black sheep who says, more backstory from him, like, I used to catch rabbits, hold them tight in my hands, and help them cross over. I think Peter would be most interested in the early childhood days of one Braun Strowman. Though then again, they've probably seen the sight of him and were like, no, we're just going to let him do it. We're not going to mess with that guy. And yeah, he's still referred to King Barrett even though he doesn't wear a crown and robe anymore. So I'm like, okay.
Right.
Neville kept going for his, not Neville, Barrett. He kept going for his old Wasteland finisher and twice got countered out of it. He has the wherewithal to roll out of a Red Arrow attempt, and Neville's like about to go in, runs right straight dead onto that bull hammer. All hail King Barra.
All hail King Barrett and the Barra Barrage.
Neville, get me a glass of water.
Oh, yeah. Give you a glass of water, but I'm afraid I got some bad news. And then he just spills the water over there on Neville.
You got
this is not the water I asked for.
I'm
Neville.
a water bender.
Over there, I
Legend
am a
of
water
Barra.
bender.
Nickelodeon Legend of Barra. I'm a water bender now. Give me a glass of water so I can bend it. You just bent the glass though. I'm a water bender. I didn't know you could bend glass. Like, you're not doing it right. Shut up, I'm king.
It's like, shut up on King Barrett, bitch.
Give me a glass of water.
Oh, jeez.
Give me some sand. I'll do that too. Look, I'm bending it. You can't bend sand. Oh, Barrett.
Well, anywho, in the main event, we got Randy Orton and Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman.
Somehow Strowman not just laying waste to Orton and Reigns right now, having the face this win due to DQ because Wyatt sent a chair into Reigns' ribs.
Right.
But yeah, we got to continue that the Hell in a Cell feud, which is supposed to end the rivalry, hopefully. Because he's been fighting him since Money in the Bank, almost. That was almost like 2 seasons ago, it feels like.
Yep.
Like they've been going at it for a while.
Yep. Alright. Well, that pretty much finishes up SmackDown, and now...
I did see NXT. I didn't write anything down, but I had a couple things to just gloss over there because I saw that 2-hour thing.
Alright.
For a takeover.
Alright, let's start
Did the crowd chant like Gable in the way the Angle theme was? Because I heard like Gable, Gable, Gable.
Yeah.
Oh, is he? Are those two like the new? Because they look a lot like the World's Greatest Tag Team. I was reminded of that kind of.
Oh yeah, with Charlie Haas and Shelton.
Gable and what was the other? I can't remember his name, but he had like an alliterative name, like he was like 2 of the same letter, which is always cool. But holy shit, the thing I marked out for was like Gable taking Baron Corbin, who's like Gable's like half of Corbin, and he still manages a bridge suplex on the guy. I'm like, holy shit, I was marking out huge.
Oh yeah, by the way, the guy you were thinking of was Jason Jordan.
Jason Jordan, that's it.
Alright. Yeah, so start for NXT TakeOver that we got the pre-show with doing the whole Dusty Rhodes tribute, which was of course very nice. And of course we start off with the opener, Finn Balor and Samoa Joe defeating Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson over there in the semifinals of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. And this turned out to be a very good match. There that Finn Balor has suffered a knee injury there, which they continue on the show. They're mentioning about for where Samoa Joe possibly turning on Finn Balor, because over there is like, I wonder that like they possibly ever do for like a later NXT for like these two continuing tag team, and then it's like Samoa Joe all of a sudden turns heel on Finn Balor. It's like it does the whole I kick your leg out of your leg like Owen did Brett.
That's why I kicked your leg out of your leg.
Yeah. That was a really good match. And, of course, we have the other semifinal tag match we just mentioned about Jason Jordan and Chad Gable losing to Baron Corbin and Rhino, which makes me sad because I wish Jason Jordan and Chad Gable won the match, I
could tell those guys were over with the crowd. Like I said, they were singing Gable and Angle's theme. I was like, holy shit, for real? Is that who this team is? Because I haven't only seen like last week's NXT because I wanted to see I was like, okay, they're going for like 30 minutes. I'm like, ooh, I need to see that.
Yeah.
Because I like Sasha Banks. I like her on Raw. And I like that she's undefeated, too. It needs to keep that going as long as it's possible. Like I said, just rebuild that division around her, I think.
Yep. And next up, we have the debut of Asuka.
Yeah.
Over there. There's Dana Brooke, which over there, which I already love Asuka since I know her from Japan as Khan. There, and she does have a pretty cool entrance over there with the whole mask that she comes out over there with, and I very much so like her ring attire there. And they actually had a pretty good debut match with her and Dana Brooke. So that's that.
Dana Brooke, wasn't sure what to make of her. Like her, I think she went for like silver hair, but it came out grayish. I was like, that wasn't a good look. But she's built like she can actually like put on a really good match, and she did with the newcomer Asuka, who has a lot of experience down there as well over in Japan.
Yep. And next up we have the Beauty versus Terry Crews, aka Apollo Crews versus Tyler Breeze.
Like I said on Twitter at some point, built like Lashley, moves like Shelton Benjamin. This cat is over.
Yeah, and apparently
they both are, in my opinion. Like, because he's been like NXT for forever now. I think he's like pretty practically an original down there. Since they started turning it into like we're not gonna the game show thing anymore. Now we're just a developmental thing.
Right. If, of course, it sucks that Tyler Breeze lost here in a good match, but
it was a good match.
Yeah, but I said
blocked that. I liked how he blocked the whatchamacallit. He's like, I'm gonna grab the legs, and then he goes for it. He goes for the standing moonsault again, and he's got the knees up or whatever, and takes him out for a while. It looked like he was about to have it right there.
Yeah, Tyler Breeze still gets over even if that he's losing.
It was good. He put on a. You can say like to take nothing away from the guy. Like he put on a. He put up a valiant effort.
Right. There, and then we have the finals of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic with Finn Balor's Samoa Joe winning the tournament over Baron Corbin and Rhino. There's another good match. They're considering the fact
despite the knee injury, he was still working through that, and he's still doing the stomp.
Yeah, the coup de grace.
The coup de grace.
Which I'm glad
testament to that guy.
Yeah, apparently that for surprising he didn't do the Samoa Joe heel turn to, and then the for once the Finn Balor Samoa Joe won a match that they had the whole Rose family with Dustin coming out there without the makeup and Cody breaking kayfabe. Yeah, Cody Rhodes breaking kayfabe there, and then doing a whole nice shooter there thing with Dusty and then presenting them with the trophy, and that was very nice.
He called him Cody called him the Oak of NXT. I thought that's pretty good.
Yep. And then finally, in our main event, we had a 30-minute Iron Woman match between Bayley and Sasha Banks for the NXT Women's Championship. And, man, was this a classic to tell you what.
This is like those old rivalries where it's like one person, like, who lost the title, and now she has to go the person has to go through, like, the lengths to get it back. Like she's in the ring, like, at some point, like, she's attacking Bayley's knee or something like that. Actually, before that, it was a good thing too. Like Sasha like hurt her hand or like her I think it was like her hand and her shoulder or something like that. Like they both went out with like some telling injuries during this one. Like she's on her hand and Bayley's like she's trying to help her up after I think that's already like a fall each or something at that point. She's like trying to help her up, bring her in. She's like, all right, let's just hug it out, and then Sasha like immediately turns on her, and she starts beating on her for a while, super healing it up too. Like wow, like she's over, but she was like reaching like super heel territory with Bayley's family outside. I'm like, oh my god, this is priceless. Yeah, not as good as probably to say as your Brooklyn match, but still is a damn classic. But by the way, Bayley, please get a better damn finisher than a belly-to-belly suplex, please. Well, anywho, that now concludes NXT. Now it's time to cover it over there for the Ring of Honor TV show. It was recorded for October 7th, 2015. And we start over there with our opener from Brooklyn, New York. We have the Briscoe brothers, the best damn rednecks around. Battling up against the Time Splitters of Alex Shelley and Kushida. They're still continuing upon the New Japan Ring of Honor talent share thing. And this was a really, really good match there, because I tell you, man, because the Briscoes are damn over, for especially if you've seen Jay Briscoe's promos over there on YouTube. It's one of the best promo guys there in the business today. There. And then Jay beat Shelley over there with a J Driller. There, we get to see for Takaki Watanabe earning a shot at the Ring of Honor TV Championship next week. They're there for after that, we have Nigel joining on commentary for the main event non-title match between Roderick Strong and the IWGP Heavyweight Champion, the Rainmaker, aka the best wrestler in the world, Kazuchika Okada. And then these two put on a classic for a TV match here. Which that even though that I love Shinsuke Nakamura more and I love his ring entrance more, but Okada, man, for whatever there for when that for when New Japan decided to finally turn the ball over to him in 2012, man, he has made it fucking worth. Therefore, especially for that Rainmaker pose that he does, there it gets fucking over. For Okada eventually won the match, but he had to use two Tombstone Paw Drivers, a German Suplex, and the Rainmaker to put Roderick Strong away. There, great match.
there, which possibly sets up maybe a future title match over there between Roddy and Kazuchika Okada for possibly for when we get to New Japan's later shows down the line. Which, speaking of which, that we had the New Japan Destruction pay-per-views over upon the week last month. And we will start with the Destruction and Okayama. If I can get this thing on here. Alright. Okay. Yep. Let's start off things over there with the traditional 8-man tag. With Shibata and Sho Tanaka, Yoni Komatsu, Eiji Nagata defeated David Finlay, Jay White, Mabu Nakanishi, and Tetsuya Naito. Which that Naito suffering a loss here, then a solid match. Which that I just love Naito's newish dickish heel things. It's like I believe it was a couple of pay-per-views ago for where it was Naito team with Tomoaki Honma, and it's like that Naito over there was just trying to help Honma out there because Honma was getting the crap beat out of him, and like Honma was just trying to tag in. Like Naito was like, no, You ain't tagging in me, and Honma's left over there to the dust. That's proving Tetsuya Naito turned heel. So, yeah, Naito's one of the best heels in the business right now. So, ew. Next up, we have the tag match between Jushin Thunder Liger and Mascara Dorada taking on Red Dragon at Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. And Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly defeating Mascara Dorada over there in another solid match. Next up, we have the NWA World Junior Heavyweight Championship match with Tiger Mask defeating Steve Anthony with Bruce Barb, aka one of the best managers over there in the business, as Bruce Barb. And next up, we have Hiroshi Tanahashi and Matt Sydal, formerly Evan Bourne in the WWE. Yep, defeating the Bullet Club of Balak Fale and Tama Tonga. There for another solid match right there. And we have stalest tag teams in the business of Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson. Doc Gallows, a.k.a. the tall, bald-haired dude over there in the Straight Edge Society back in WWE. There to be a Tenkosu Hiroshi Tenzan and Satoshi Kojima there to retain the IWGP Tag Team Championship.
A.k.a. Luke Gallows, a.k.a. Sex Ferguson.
Yep. A.k.a. Festus there, too.
Festus. The other Kane during that angle.
Yeah, back in 2006. Yeah.
Faker Kane, I guess. I don't know what they call it. They had Under Faker. I don't know what I called Kane.
Yep. And next up, we have our 10-man tag match between Team Chaos of Trent Beretta. There, Rocky Romero, Shinsuke Nakamura, Tomohiro Ishii, and Yoshihashi defeating Alex Shelley, Captain New Japan, Hiroki Goto, Ryusuke Taguchi, and Tomoaki Honma in a fun 10-man tag match. And next up, we have Team Chaos of the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada, and Toriano versus the Bullet Club of AJ Styles and Scott Hall's son, Cody Hall. Yeah, here. Solid matchup. There we have a really good match over here with Kenny Omega defeating Kushida to win the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. There, which Kenny Omega over there is as great as the heels. I remember over there for one time over there, he's just acting like a total shit heel. He's coming out of there for the ring with a broom over there, just sweeping all over the mat. Where there's like do. Is just there, just leaning over the mat, just acting like a total douche. And then for our main event, we have Togi Makabe defeating Kota Ibushi to retain the Never Openweight Championship in a damn great match. That there's like Kota Ibushi is the best high flyer over there in the business. That Kota Ibushi over there just like does shit that just make you just go like, and it's like, how is one man to be supposed to do this shit? Because Bushi does shit over there that like you see over there like in the WWE 2K games. It's like it's just on fucking real. That type of talent that this dude has. And he is definitely is, in my opinion, one of the best in the world. So, yeah, hopefully he'll come along to the WWE along with Shinsuke Nakamura because both of them need it badly. So, anywho, And next up, we have the second of our pay-per-views. We have for New Japan Destruction in Kobe. Here we have our typical New Japan opener with Tanaka Komatsu via Finlay and White. Then we have Jushin Thunder Liger and Tiger Mask number 4 and Yuji Nagata defeating Captain New Japan, Juice Robinson, and Manabu Nakanishi. European Standard 6-man tag. You have Chaos of Bret Rocky Romero and Tomohiro Ishii and Yoshihashi defeating Mascara Dorada, Ryusuke Taguchi, Togi Makabe, and Tomoaki Honma. They're a solid 8-man tag. Here we have Tenzan, Seidel, and Kojima defeating the Bullet Club of Gallus and Anderson and Kenny Omega in a fine 6-man tag. And so we have for Tetsuya Naito defeating Katsuyori Shibata. There, which makes it kind of go, what the fuck? Because Shibata is one of the best workers over there in the business. That's a fact about that. If you want to talk about death moves, it's like, no, you gotta see, therefore, of Shibata for when he does this thing called the soccer kick of death. Therefore, when he gets his opponent down there in the seated position, and then Shibata's coming off the ropes and just goes full force with the knee with the soccer kick of death. And up we have the 6-man tag with Kazuchika Katsushi Sakura Toria, being the Bullet Club of AJ Styles, Cody Hall, and Tama Tonga. And then we have a great tag team title match over there with Red Dragon, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly, defeating Time Splitters, Alex Shelley, and Kushida to retain the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships. And then we have, surprisingly, a really good match with Hiroshi Tanahashi and Bad Luck Fale over there for the matchup for who gets to go to the Tokyo Dome in January next year to face whoever the IWGP Heavyweight Champion is for the belt. And in our main event, we have a damn great match between Shinsuke Nakamura and Hiroki Goto, for Shinsuke Nakamura to gain back the IWGP Intercontinental Championship. There of a great match there, and that very much so concludes for New Japan. Of course, very much so looking forward to the next event, which is King of Pro Wrestling coming over there in October, which hopefully looks like to be a damn great match. I mean, a damn great show. There.
But that is good and holy, my notifications did not go off.
Oh, hey, Vex, welcome to the podcast.
Hello. So how much have I missed?
We did game releases, did movie stuff, I guess. Even
okay, so I didn't miss anything.
Maryland mid stuff. We just went through Raw and SmackDown and NXT. Maryland's covering
Ring of Honor. I just went through.
Okay.
Yeah, Ring of Honor, New Japan. Okay. So Beck's done with that, so you can cover TNA.
Okay, so first of all, TNA is like, I'd like to describe TNA as a horror movie villain, where we think he should be dead, but he just keeps coming back.
Yeah.
Also, so this past Sunday was Bound for Glory, which, for those who don't know, is TNA's version of WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's their big one.
Yeah. Would you like to take a guess how many people were in attendance?
Probably like 100.
Oh, come on, give him some credit.
Maybe like 1,000.
10,000.
4,000 tickets were sold.
Wow.
And the night before,
Maryland was close.
2,500. It's even worse because their house shows are only getting like 300 people.
That's what we were probably thinking, the hundreds, and we were thinking all the Impact Wrestlings.
Yeah.
Where are they? Thursdays, Fridays? Oh, they're back to Wednesdays now, aren't they?
Yeah, they're the thing is, they've been pre-taped for the past months now.
Yeah, they've been doing all the segments over there. It's like NXT kind of.
Mm-hmm.
I think they record all their segments now. I'm just trying to get another thing. Yeah, I don't know what the schedule is for that.
Out there on channel that most people don't actually fucking get in Destination America.
Mm-hmm.
I think I do. I haven't seen it because it's on YouTube anyway. I can find out what happened, like in that, or I can go to their YouTube thing and they do like the here's what happened this week in 60 seconds.
Pretty much, you can do that easily with TNA, unlike Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah.
Because like there's literally no story for them, and if anything, the only story you can get behind with them is like, who do you like more? And that's how you get by. So I think I should just jump into the main event since all the other matches were just pretty much filler.
That's all I know of. Because again, they did the after thing, and then whatchamacallit was like a. Well, I'll let you do that.
Would you believe me if I told you Matt Hardy champion in 2015?
Yep.
I wouldn't.
I saw it on Twitter. I'm like, oh shit, he beat what's his name? He's undefeated.
EC3.
No. But no, it was triple threat.
Drew Galloway.
Yeah, he pinned Drew Galloway. So
AKA Chosen One.
I'm like, oh, okay, he's still undefeated then.
The Chosen.
The show. Wait, not that one.
Real talk.
I'm not the Jazira Chosen One.
Wow.
I'm really disappointed in how WWE handled Drew Galloway. Because, like, from the get-go,
he's been over.
He was so over. Vince even handpicked him, that's the guy who's going to go to WrestleMania.
Too.
Right.
But then again,
and then that went nowhere
when you think about it, you know who else had a good start? Curtis Axel.
Yep.
He feuded with Triple H, got the Intercontinental title, and what is he doing now? Exactly.
After the Hogan thing, it's not much.
Oh, after the Hogan thing? That's not going to happen. Same thing with, that's why Damien Sandow and the, what were they called? They weren't called the Mega Powers. They were called the, something.
Yeah, the Mega Powers.
The Minor Powers, maybe?
Something like that.
Something like that, like some play off that, I'm sure.
But ever since the whole Hogan fiasco, that gimmick is gone. So now I'm curious how they're going to handle, if they even handle him at all.
Bring back Rybaxel.
Rybaxel.
Yeah.
Ryback and Axel walk into the ring. Ryback and Axel gonna win this thing.
Yep. They're decided at this over here to our wrestling segment for the thing that Taz and Mike today do on their podcast. They're doing our little wrestling fantasy. We're here for Fantasy Draft. We're going to be doing our top 5 entrance themes of all time. Now, remember, for entrance themes, you had to pick over here for the entrance themes. They're like iconic. They're just like, you go like, holy shit, for when the guy comes out. And, of course, they're there for a theme, so you got to identify immediately over there with the wrestler. So yeah. Alright, so my number 5 entrance theme is going to come as a shocker to you guys. My number 5 wrestling theme is going to be the NWO theme. Because... Yeah, because the NWO theme... I mean, how can you not have that as the top 5 theme of all time? Because, I mean, that for when... If you immediately identify with that theme, or whether it be for fucking Kevin Nash or Scott Hall, there with Kevin Nash with his fucking torn quads over the place, that is like you immediately pop over there for when you hear that theme, because the NWO were the shits back in the day in the old WCW before they fucking ruined it. So that's my number 5 wrestling theme. So what's their number 5 wrestling theme? Let's start with Renee. What's your number 5 wrestling theme?
Number 5. Off the top of my head right now, I'm thinking what would like as far as like iconic and what really sets apart from other themes itself. Like, you know who that is, and you pop super hard because they were who they were, and this goes down to the Attitude Era, the Brood.
Oh yeah, the Brood with Gangrel, Edge, and Christian.
It was Gangrel's thing, but then it became like encompassed it all together.
Yeah,
they kind of had a thing going for them. They weren't really face heel. They were just, well, they were heel at times, but for the they were still over for the most part, just because the entrance, them coming up through the fire. It's probably number 5 because they're not really it wasn't really that memorable by all of them together. It's only till like they broke out and it was just Edge and Christian until they started like really starting to get over.
Yeah, and then so later on that they added Matt and Jeff Hardy for when they became the New Brood.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. They had that too.
Alright, so Vex, what is your number 5 favorite wrestling team of all time?
Number 5, I would have to say at the top of my head, hey, nothing you can say.
Yeah.
We were talking about Legend Killer Orton too.
Yeah, the Legend Killer, Randy Orton. There. Now, why is your number 5 theme, Vex?
Burning My Light via Mercy Drive, I believe.
Yep.
Wait,
Alright.
what was my number 5? What?
Why is it number 5? What's...
Honestly, I actually prefer it. I actually prefer it over Voices in My Head.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I can see why, because Voices in or whatever the fuck it's called, I just call it Voices in My Head because that's what
it's just called Voices.
It's just called Voices, because it's more suited back when he was the vicious guy, back when he was going through the vicious, where he like punched Cena's dad's head. That's
no, my dad.
No, my dad. No.
That's John Cena's father.
By God, that John Cena has a family, and you just punted him in his head.
You punted him in the skull, you son of a bitch! Bobby Lashley!
Bobby Lashley!
Yeah, and also too for when Randy Orton RKO'd Mae Young, and for when Randy Orton RKO'd Stacy Keibler.
I actually found out that Stacy Keibler remained a virgin until she got married.
Yeah, she remained a virgin until she got married by George Clooney, and then broke up with George Clooney, so... Anywho, right, that says they're all number 5, so let's move on to number 4. Number 4 on my list is the Rock's theme. Now, for which version of the theme? Yeah. The best Rock theme to me on number 4 on my list is the 99 through 2001 theme before they did the whole invasion bullshit. Because it's like, I mean, I like all the versions of the Rock theme to be fair, but the best version of me is the 99 through 2001 theme. Because that's just pretty much... stands over there with a "If you smell what the Rock do is cooking," and then their thing is like, because that's me, it's the best version of Rock scene. All right, so that's number 4 on my list. All right, number 4 for you, Renee.
Number 4. I'm gonna put over the Brood.
You already put over.
So. Someone has to.
Number 4.
Yeah.
Number 4. Another iconic theme from the Attitude Era. Yeah, you had it. You knew shit was about to go down when this theme came on. Ken Shamrock.
Yep, the world's most dangerous man. Ken Shamrock theme for you.
But I know of him because like he reminds me of freaking
first NWA TNA champion.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I looked him up recently. It was like, oh. That was back when they did it like it was like pay-per-view. It was like a weekly thing or something like that.
Oh,
where they
yeah.
got the TV deal with Spike.
Now their pay-per-views are freaking on TV.
On TV. They've gone full circle, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And not in a good way.
Alright, so that's number 4 theme for Renee. Alright, Vexper, what's your number 4 theme of all time?
You suck.
The Patriot?
You suck. Yeah.
I'm the Patriot.
Yeah, Kurt Angle's theme at number 4. Yeah, so next, what is your number 4?
Oh, who was the Patriot again? I can't remember his name.
Oh yeah, Del Wilkes.
Del Wilkes, that's it. That was his theme.
Yep. Alright, so Vex has a Kurt Angle theme. This is number 4. Alright, number 3, and it is a pretty tough call. They're the number 3 theme for me, but number 3, I'm going to go with Stone Cold Steve Austin's theme, because how could you not? Because for when you immediately hear the Glass Shatters, you're like, oh shit, somebody's out here to get a stunner, and Steve Austin's over here to throw a beer bash, so... yeah, pretty much there's nothing else to say, so Steve Austin's theme is number 3 for me. Alright, so Renee, what's your number 3 theme of all time?
Number 3 is going to go to a more recent, and it's the current NXT champion, Finn Balor.
Oh yeah, with the Demon theme. Yeah, the Demon theme was just fucking kick-ass.
It's one of the most encompassing themes I've seen in recent memory.
Yeah, Finn Balor with... Oh,
whenever I see Finn Balor, I cannot just help but think Jeff Hardy. I don't know why. Whenever I see his fans, like, why do you like Finn Balor? Oh, because he's got that demon thing. I was like, okay, do you like his wrestling? Go, oh, well, no, I just like his intro. So, okay.
Oh, dude.
Yep, Finn Balor definitely has the best entrance in wrestling. All right, so that's number 3 theme for Renee. All right, Dexter, what is your number 3 theme of all time?
It goes out to another Patriot. Check 1, 2.
Oh,
yeah.
Jack Swagger.
Jack Swagger's theme.
I thought for the longest time it was Rage Against the Machine too.
Right?
Yeah,
I think that's why I think that's why I started getting over too, because he had that Rage Against the Machine thing.
I got you. Where I want you. Da, 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 da.
Yeah, with the Get On Your Knees, yeah, it's just a cover band of the Rage Against the Machine. Alright, number 2, I had pretty much had to split hairs on this one, but number 2 is a tie between my time and the game for Triple H, because how can you not? As much as you like to reign the guy there, and rightfully so,
Yeah.
but it's like, how could you not? Because, I mean, Triple H's My Time theme and the game theme are just fucking instant classics wherever you hear them. There, for My Time, there's like, remember that classic Triple H interview that he had with JR back on Heat? I think it's like before SummerSlam 99. There was like, I've been held down in this business for over 7 years. It's like, this goes all the way back to me in the clique. Or even here,
the garden. The curtain call.
It's like, well, if you want to shoot, I'll fucking shoot. There, and then for when the game over there finally braces of him going full Lemmy for Motorhead, it's like they decided to have the game. It's like both of those things are classics. So like I just can't pick one for number 2, so it's just a tie for me. All right, so it's number 2 for me. All right, number 2 theme of all time for you, Renella.
Well, you actually went with my number 1, the game for Triple H, because you just know exactly what it's about.
Yep.
And I'd say number 2, especially now, for what's going on, Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
It's so simple, but you know exactly what that theme is, and you know exactly what's going to happen afterwards.
Yeah, I just missed Hats coming over there from commentary saying, well, here comes the pain.
Well, here comes the pain.
Yeah. Yep. Alright, so that's...
It's simple, but it's to the point, and, well, that's Lesnar in a nutshell anyhow. Like, I just go for the themes that, like, encompass the character, kind of, is what I'm going with.
Alright, so that's
the XFL team had the freaking theme.
Yeah,
the Enforcers.
Right. Yeah. Alright, so before we get to number 1, alright, Vex, what's your number 2 theme along?
I was about to say, you were going to skip me. Well, how dare you? I know I'd been gone for like an hour.
Because I already said what my number 1 was.
Okay. My number 2 and number 1 are actually going to both be from NXT. So,
right.
Because like all the ones that you are actually in my top 10. So,
yeah.
Number 2, Kevin Owens. Down.
Yeah.
Mainly because Kevin Owens is a god, and I will stand by that statement. If you ever read his Twitter, he's like the Hideki Kamiya of WWE.
Yeah. Hey, so what's your number 1 theme, Vex?
Sami Zayn. Ska feel to it. It just pumps you up so much. It's like something I haven't heard like for wrestlers' themes in a long time.
Alright. So of course my number 1 obvious theme, of course, it's like I'm shocked that like you're doing justice to America if you don't have this as your number 1 theme. Of course, Hulk Hogan, Real American. Because of course, how can you not? Because I mean,
because he's a racist.
His theme isn't racist.
In a way, it kind of is. I am a real American. Well, actually, no.
If you think about it, it's kind of xenophobic, maybe not racist. You could probably make that argument, like a real American. But that was a different time back then. That was the 80s. We were fighting the Gaddafi or whatever the fuck it was. Because I seen the whole video. He's holding like a picture of the Gaddafi, and he's like, America.
Yeah. Anything here for the side offs to do for some honorable mentions, or some obvious ones say, like I think for some underrated themes that had some. A Psycho Sid's theme for where Sid Vicious when it was Psycho Sid. That was that was a pretty damn good theme with a doom 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 doom. Yeah. And also, of course, for I was on my other top 5, but of course, Bret the Hitman Hart's theme there before they did a whole remix of this theme. There, the original Hitman theme was just amazing. Here because. Yeah, I was shockingly that was not of an original Jim Johnson composition. That was actually done by Jimmy Hart.
Hmm.
Yeah, right. which I listened to on the Jim Johnson podcast with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Here, which is like I don't know how many times we were there with it's like because like it's a common thing over here to hear upon podcasts over there. It's like the number of ads he posts over there for DraftKings. Or they're especially posting out for DDP Yoga. Yeah, because everybody in their podcast and mother does DDP Yoga. I've been trying to get the end to do DDP Yoga.
Have you seen the commercial for DDP Yoga?
Well, there's a commercial now. Well, I guess he's got to have one now. He helped out Scott Hall and Jake Roberts.
Right.
It is just like you can see the lifeless eyes in DDP. Like, what has my career become?
Yeah, and also, fun fact: did you know that DDP was as a young child was dyslexic?
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because the fact about the DDP there was dyslexic because that. I've actually heard that from the latest Stone Cold podcast with DP. Is that where it's like I've been starting for disliking the later parts of the Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast because it's starting to have his it's like the whole voice went over there from Georgia there on his podcast. It's like, oh yeah, Vex, have you listened to the Jericho 25th anniversary podcast with Lance Storm?
No, I have not, but I did manage to hear the Flair Hogan podcast.
Oh yeah, therefore was of course they had to dodge the whole racism talk with Hulk Hogan, but
which was really the main reason I went there. Well, that and for Flair, because I'm not going for Hogan, but I just wanted to hear it. But how are you gonna bullshit your way out of not being a racist?
Yep. There too. So, yep. I think that was pretty much the end of the podcast. And left that to talk about, unless I actually want to add your bit of video game news and such.
No, I wasn't aware we were supposed to do video games, so I just brought wrestling stuff.
Okay. Well, you just talked about what stuff was coming out and all, and just in the news and everything, which I think Maryland pretty much covered.
Ah, dang it.
Yep.
Oh well. There's always next week.
Yeah.
Maybe the notifications will go off.
Next week. Yep. Alright, so that pretty much ends the podcast.
Yeah, it's a podcast. It didn't get much of a wrap-up because I left the recording on and we pretty much just talked about shit for another good 40 minutes. But I thought that was a good spot to end it anyway because we were still going, but I didn't know we were going to come up with an outro. But we were thinking of we were trying to come up with a name for the podcast. Like I said, we didn't want to call it the Not So One Player because I think that's kind of lazy. And again, it was just only been like a one-shot deal. Maryland said what was the 3 Live Crew Suplex City Edition remix or something. Well, it's basically the remix of the One Player podcast. But again, I want to thank Maryland Wolves and Vexper for being on. I hope they would. We're going to be doing these either Saturday. It might bump into Friday, but anyway. What'd you guys think? Feedback is most appreciated. Not even just for the names or whatever. What can we add? What can we take away? What we can do to make this even better? So, once again, thank you very much for listening. Take care.